Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the new chapter, chapter 17 of your book, that is Forests are Lifelines. Now, question arises, what are forests? Forest is a natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals. The forest is a place where we can find different types of trees and wide variety of plants and animals. They include biotic and abiotic factors. For example, sunlight, air, nutrients, water, rocks, animals, trees, etc. So there are different types of animals are found in the forest like lion, tiger, elephant, monkey, deer, zebra, etc. Different types of trees are also found in the forest like teak, bamboo, fig, shisham, peepal, neem, etc. And in plants, there are herbs, shrubs, grasses, climbers, creepers, etc. Means forest may have short plants, they may have big trees also. So, forests are a habitat of many kinds of animals. In forest, we find many types of plants and trees, and we find different types of animals. Why? Because forests provide favorable environmental conditions, food, and shelter to a variety of wild animals, insects, and microorganisms. The trees of the forest act as their shelter, while a variety of plants and animals are their food. Forests also support different food chains because of a complex biodiversity in the forest, because in the forest different type of animals and plants are there, so they support the different food chains which we are going to discuss. The different organisms present on the earth are dependent on each other. Therefore, interdependence of components of forest. As you know that forest has different type of plants and animals. In plants or animals, they are autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprotrophs, and decomposers. And you are familiar with these terms that autotrophs are the green plants which prepare food by photosynthesis. And heterotrophs basically are the animals or maybe few plants which get their food directly or indirectly from plants. And saprotrophs are the animals or the plants which feed on dead animals. And the next category is the decomposers. Basically, decomposers are the microorganisms. Microorganism means very, very small organism which decomposes dead plants and animals into humus. The plants or the animals which die and they are on the soil and they decompose those into humus. So, by this, the food chain takes place in the forest. I'll discuss one food chain. What is food chain? Food chain is the organisms which feed on plants are eaten by the other organisms and so on to form food chain. For example, grass, or you can say plants. The sun is the ultimate source. So, grass is eaten by insects, and insects are eaten by frog, and frog are eaten by snakes, and snakes are eaten by eagles. And then these eagles are decomposed by the decomposers. So there are many food chains in the forest. All food chains are linked together. If any food chain is disturbed, it affects other food chain. For example, if any of this is missing, suppose insects are not there, so frog will not get their food, so number of frog will be less, and then snakes will not get their food. Like this way the whole chain get disturbs. So every component of forest depends on one another. If we remove one component like trees, all the other components are affected. Discuss the characteristics of the trees found in forests. So, in the forest, different types of trees having different crown shapes are found. This is known as stem, and this is known as the branchy part of the tree. The branchy part of the tree above the stem is known as crown of the tree, and the crown of trees have different shapes. So here are some crown shapes of the trees you can see in this figure. The crown of trees have different shapes. The branches of tall trees look like a roof over the other plants in the forest. If we see from the distance, the forest, the branchy part means the crowns of the tall trees looks like a roof, and this roof is called as canopy. Trees have different heights, crown, shapes of leaves, flowers, and fruit. So they form different layers in the forest. Means different height of trees shows that there are different layers in the forest. You know that the forests are very important for us because we get many things from the forest. They are the rich source of different products that are used by human beings, such as fruits and vegetable, wood, raw material for different industries like paper, wood, etc., medical products, latex, gum, resins, honey, wax, spices, oil, bones, and fur. So we get many products from the forest, and many lives and people depend for their livelihood on forest. You know what is humus? It is a dark colored substance found in the soil, and humus is made from dead and decaying organisms. The microorganisms live upon the decaying matter and convert it into humus. They are known as decomposers. Now, what happens if an animal dies in the forest? So, the dead animals become the food for the others. They become the food for vultures, crows, jackals, and insects. In this way, the nutrients are cycled. Means if some animals dies, they become the food for the others, and the some animals eat plants, and some decomposes this dead and decayed matters, and they are the food of them. Those are known as decomposer. So means like this the cycle goes in the forest, nothing goes to waste. Why forests are called dynamic living entity? Because all the plants and animals, they depend on each other in the forest. Like herbivores depend on plants for their food, carnivorous depends on their herbivores, and the decaying matter of dead animals, plants, and their excreta enables the growth of more plants by providing them into adequate nutrients to grow. Means decomposers decompose the dead animals or plant into the humus, and which provide the nutrients for the growth of plants. Therefore, forests are called dynamic living entity. And decomposers, the microorganisms which convert the dead plants and animal to humus, that humus provide nutrients in the soil for the growth of plants are known as decomposers. The one more important aspects of forests that they are called green lungs. Why? Why we called? Because the balance of oxygen is maintained in the atmosphere by forest. That's why we call forest as green lungs. How? In forest we have plants and trees. Trees gives oxygen by photosynthesis. They absorb carbon dioxide. And animal or human being, they releases carbon dioxide which are taken by the trees, and animals during respiration they take in oxygen which is produced by the plants and the trees in the atmosphere and release carbon dioxide which is consumed by the plants. So like this way balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide is maintained in the atmosphere. Hence, the discuss importance of forests. Forest is a natural habitat for a large number of plants and animals. So many plants and animals can live over there. Forests help in maintaining the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the atmosphere. Forests help in bringing good rainfall. All of you know that plants and trees through transpiration they releases excess water in the atmosphere which is helpful in bringing rain. Forests help to protect soil from erosion. The roots of the plants and trees bind the soil and protect them from erosion if the heavy rainfall is there. Forests absorb rainwater and help to maintain water table. We get medicinal plants, timber and many other useful products from forests. Many people live in the forest and forests provide them with food, water, shelter and medicines. Now, what is deforestation? Deforestation means no forest, removal of forest. Demolishing the forest on a large scale is called deforestation. And human beings undergo this process in order to find more space for extending their habitats कि उनको अपनी roads बनानी है, factories बनानी है, houses बनाने हैं, तो वो forest को क्या कर रहे हैं, demolish कर रहे हैं, deforest कर रहे हैं, cut कर रहे हैं. Now the very important aspect, what are the consequences of deforestation? Means if we cut the forest, what will be the effect? Or you can say if forest will disappear, then what will happen? If forest disappear, the amount of carbon dioxide in air will increase, resulting the increase of earth temperature. The plants which absorb the carbon dioxide, if plants and trees are not there, then the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will increase, hence the temperature will increase, pollution will increase. In the absence of trees and plants, the animal will not get food and shelter. They will come to the cities. In the absence of trees, the soil will not hold water, which causes floods. Means soil erosion will be there. Less rainfall will be there. The deforestation will endanger our life and environment. The whole ecosystem will be disturbed. So we should preserve our forest. So forests are our lifelines.